Hey, how y'all doing? Had a couple people ask me what I got growing in the greenhouse, so I figured I'd do a little greenhouse video. Got some tomatoes. It's the French heirloom collection. Got three different varieties. It's a spin-off of the Cherokee Purple, I believe the Striped German, and honestly not really sure what that third one's a spin-off of. I hadn't grown it out to see what it looks like yet, but um, seeds come from Johnny's. Also, bring you over here. Still got some peppers in the ground. These are my cayennes. They've made a lot this year, so we're not going to have them in the greenhouse too much longer. Plants are looking kind of rough. The aphids got to them. Just picked some bell peppers out my bell peppers here to take up to the local grocery store, so you don't see many bell peppers on them. These are a sweet variety that everybody is scared to try because they think they're hot. Picked a nice mess of them today. And then these are the infamous purple bell peppers. Still got some little ones there. You can see it. Just now starting to turn purple. I took a bunch of them up to the grocery store. All that I had on them little bushes. But they're going to get out of the greenhouse here pretty soon too. Got me a nice row of pak choi on the drip. They growing to be nice little plants. They ain't been in the ground but about a week and a half, if that. These are some kohlrabi right next to it. They're supposed to be a purple color, kind of like a root crop. Never grown those before. And then down here we got a few more kohlrabi, and it goes into some broccoli and some cabbage. So got a long row, probably about, I think, 70 foot of broccoli and cabbage in the greenhouse. We're gonna see how it does. And down here, where I had some peppers from the spring up until a few weeks ago, I got me some lettuce planted. Did some side by side of the Cherokee lettuce and the butterhead lettuce. And then down here, I got me a few more cabbage. It seems to be coming along pretty well too. Over here, just got this bed ready today. Threw some of that organic horse manure in there. Got it all tilled up, added a little bit of nitrogen to it. We're gonna plant some more lettuce in there tomorrow. But let's take a walk down the tomato aisle. Dealt with some white flies in here this morning, but we think we about got rid of them. We're gonna have to probably treat for them one more time with that organic neem oil, but we got some pretty good tomatoes growing on. So nice clusters. All of these are heirloom varieties too. You don't usually get that many heirloom varieties, at least I don't, all on one plant clustered up like that. So got basil planted in between them. Basil looking a little rough, but seems to me that the bugs go to the basil instead of the tomato plants. I had some real bad problems with the tomato worm in here throughout the spring and summer. So they say that the basil helps deter the tomato worm. And I can believe it, because I hadn't had near the amount of problems that I've had this past spring. That's my first one that's starting to turn red. Ain't quite as big as I want it, but if it'll turn all the way red on the vine, we'll definitely try it and see how she tastes. So, got another one over here, got a little bit bigger. One of them kind of mega bloom things. Gets real big, stretches out. We got some tomatoes coming on. Not really sure what I'm gonna plant here in this bell pepper area once I get them up, but I'll come up with something. Did start me a few grapevines and a fig tree off some cuttings earlier this year. They finally starting to look like something. So not looking too bad. Once the cold comes through and we can't seem to keep this house warm enough, then we're probably going to take them tomatoes out and do another 4 rows like this with some cold crops. But we're gonna try to keep them tomatoes as long as we can afford to keep them. And by afford, I mean spend no money to heat this thing to keep them. I'm about to take y'all on over to the other garden and show you the tomato plants out there. Now we're out here in the little garden spot. Ain't the best spot in the whole world, but she'll do. These are actually cuttings off of the plants I had in the greenhouse in the spring and summer. They got a little blight to them, but not too bad. That's a Cherokee purple variety right there. That one right there is getting downright big. That's a good looking tomato. Them heirloom varieties, they tend to do that. They crack and form all kinds of weird stuff to them. Got a couple other good ones. Don't look like my tomato bushes is quite big enough, but that right there I think is my biggest one in the whole garden. I'm looking forward to that one whenever it turns green. That's a Cherokee purple. These are my big beefs. Got a little bit bigger cages on them. Expect a little bit more out of them. But they got some tomatoes on them, but a few of them got some bug holes in them. I don't spray these things. I sprayed a little bit of neem on them because I got some white flies on them too. But probably not as much and as often as probably should have. But they got some nice little tomatoes on them. They could get a little bigger. Hopefully they will before they start turning. I think I got 14 or 15 of these plants. Couldn't plant too many of them out here off the cuttings because I didn't have the cages for them. But looks like we'll make a few tomatoes. Has some nice zucchini down this road, but that windstorm that come through done tore them up pretty bad. Down this middle row, I got collards. It's the second time I planted them out. First time I planted them, they see if you can see them. First time I planted them out, I tried to direct seed them, and I just got so much weed pressure out here that couldn't quite distinguish what was a weed and what was a collard, and what I just didn't make it. So I come back, put some in some seed trays and transplanted them out, and they made a whole lot better row. On this row, I got my broccoli. Looks pretty good, but the darn white flies is tearing it up. I sprayed a little neem on it this morning too. It knocked them back some, but I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get it under control. I don't like using that hard pesticide stuff. I like to use the organic stuff when I can, because I'm gonna be eating it. That one right there is trying to make a little bit of a broccoli. I don't know if you can see it, but that's not near the size head we need. You can't do nothing with that. We need some bigger heads. Hopefully somebody will put them out. I got a few of these other little tiny tomato plants that I was going to transplant in the greenhouse, but well, I just run out of space. A couple of cabbage plants trying to make a head. Planted some of these in the springtime, they did real well, but I think I planted them a little too early this fall. They don't really like that heat, and I think that heat, I watered them all I could, but that heat just puts them off. I had a bunch of these pak choi out here the other day, and I done took a couple up to the grocery store, and we're gonna eat some tonight. But they grow mighty fine outside too. Got a few bug holes in them, but like I said, I don't spray with anything if I can help it. So some of them look kind of rough. Planted some lettuce out here too. Some of it looks okay. But once again, that heat just gets to it pretty hard. That right there is a butterhead lettuce, and it's finally starting to make a little bit of a head. So we got some of these planted in the greenhouse, which you'd think would make it a little hot, but I think they're gonna be fine in there. It's finally started to cool down. I got them right next to the window, or the curtain, and I keep the curtain open so that they can get a little bit of air to them. I think that helps a lot. These are some cabbage I finished the row out with, but I didn't have enough collards to do it. So maybe we'll make a few heads off this late cabbage. Most of this right here is collards. Some of these squash plants look okay. Some of them, that one looks pretty rough. I think it's got some disease on it. But a couple of them in there, we might make us a. Looks like we might make us a squash. Got a few of them on there. Well, other than the peas that I got growing everywhere, that are just a pain to pick, I picked probably 8 bushels of these things so far, and they just keep putting out. I got some pink eye purple hull at the head of the field. I done picked them so much they about done. But that's what I got growing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.